getting ready to come up next. As we said earlier, Comp Eliminator, if you are a gearhead, this is the category for you. 16-car Comp Eliminator field. This will make it interesting. Round number 1 tomorrow, 8 pairs of cars. As we will whittle our way through. Brian Brow, Troy Galbraith, Steve Ambrose, Greg Camplain sitting 1, 2, 3, 4. Ronnie Bones sitting number 5. Chuck Hallbeal sitting number 6. All of them 60 under the index or better. If you're with us earlier today, described Comp Eliminator as probably the neatest category in comp race in NHRA racing that I can think of. Basically, if you can think of it, you can build it, we'll find a category or a class for you in Comp Eliminator. Big V8s, little V8s, turbochargers, superchargers, fuel injection, carburation, dragsters, altereds, roadsters, door cars, inline 6s, V6s, 4 cylinders. A lot of engineering, a lot of ingenuity that goes into these race machines. Along with that engineering and ingenuity comes, well, a shekel or two, as the dollars do tend to pile up. How fast you want to go in comp? It becomes a challenge. And to that end, here in our Comp Eliminator field in Division 3, the Comp Eliminator Bonus Fund, a little extra money for all the competitors. Kirkman Composites, our low qualifier bonus. Don's Machine Shop out of Kenosha. T&E Auto Haulers. Brow Bell Housings, Indy Gear Company, Billingsley's Car Wash, Ray Skillman Auto Group, Bullet Racing Cams, Total Seal, Camplain Machine, Liberty Gears, C-Tech Aluminum Cabinets, Rolla Competition Engines, RCE, Trend Performance, Diamond Pistons, Camplain Machine, and Cohen Racing. All of sponsors for our Comp Eliminator field. Told you there's 16 cars so far on the sheet. Mike Farrell sitting at number 10. Runner out of Louisville. 34 Chevy Roadster. Little 323 cubic inch combination. He's been 56 under the B Street Roadster Index. Brian Savani, D-altered. Pennsylvania-based Oldsmobile, 45 under the 835 D-altered index. Again, it's not a matter of how quick you go, it's how quick you go against your national index. Obviously, with the disparity of cars and engines and power plants, got to have some way to even it out. 792. 171 by Brian Savani, 870. 104 miles an hour. Farrell off the throttle before he got to the other end of the racetrack. Ronnie Bone up now. This is the inline Chevrolet 6-cylinder. Anybody out there got a late model Chevy Trailblazer? That all aluminum 6-pack underneath the hood? Yours is just like Ronnie's. Well, okay, not just like Ronnie's. Yours started out, Ronnie started out just like yours. It's slightly modified for the Benton Harbor, Michigan-based runner. Ronnie, your number 5 qualifier, 63 under the index. If he wants to be number 1, he's going to have to pick up the pace a little bit. That 7:59 is going to need to become a 7:54. Can he? Yeah. Will he? Well, we're about to find out. Jim Promozic's machine, former Mountain Motor Pro Stock car. Now a little 380 cubic inch combination underneath the hood. How about a 751 by Ronnie Bone? Like I said, can he? Yeah. Did he? 751 at $173. 743 by Promozic. Promozic jumps up to the number 11 spot. And Ronnie Bone Turns around, looks at Brian Brown, Troy Galbraith, Steve Ambrose, and the rest of the comp eliminator category. Said, boys, you want to be number one? 71 under the index or better to take that number one spot away. That little six-cylinder dragster is flying. Todd France, Greg Tabler rolling up next. Greg out of Columbus. Mike Baugh's chassis craft machine car. B dragster automatic. Over here on the right-hand side of the racetrack. Todd France, C dragster automatic. Looks like Greg's already off the throttle. See what Todd can do, 705. That'll pick him up at 187 miles an hour. Picks up 0.05 of a second. It put him 54 under the index now. So Todd cruises through. Jumps into the number 11 spot. Shuffles the field around a little bit more. Steve Ambrose and Rick Brown. Patterson Racing. Small block combination underneath the hood of Brown's. Be truck automatic. Checking the top end of the racetrack before we send our next pair. Talked about Ronnie Bone with that six-cylinder Chevrolet. Steve Ambrose with his six-cylinder Ford. Inline 6 for Bone. Inline 6 for Ambrose. 300 cubic inch combination for the longtime Ford employee. Ambrose out of Woodhaven, Michigan. He and Bob Hutman campaigning this hot rod. Ambrose number 4 qualifier. See now, he wants to be number 1 qualifier. He needs to pick up 0.06 of a second. His 774 lap from earlier needs to become a 768 lap. Same questions. Can he? I do believe so. Will he? We're going to find out. Rick Brown, your number 9 qualifier in the truck. Of course, all of our comp eliminator racers also racing for qualifying points. The top 4 points earners throughout the season. Get to battle it out at the last race of the year down in Bowling Green, Kentucky. 772. Ambrose picks up 0.02 of a second. 168 miles an hour, an 821 lap by Rick Brown. Brown into the number 4 spot. Ambrose now into the number 2. So Ambrose 67 under. Rick Brown 67 under. Brian Brown 67 under. Can you say they're bunched at the top? Troy Galbraith at 66 under. Here's our 4-cylinder Honda. And our V8 powered 23T. Tension into pits. Tension into pits, please. Super Gas, round number 2. Needs you back to the lanes now. Super Gas, round number 2. Needs you back to the staging lanes, please. I mean, stockers, get them ready. Stufflebeam, your number 9 qualifier. For one of our competitors that wasn't here yesterday for the first round of qualifying. Made it in this morning. 23T out of Peoria. Brian Siebenek out of Toledo. A computer whiz kid. And like I said earlier today, the racingblogs.com machine. Probably one of the hardest working guys in comp here this weekend. And I'm not taking anything away from anybody else. Brian constantly trying new ideas and new thoughts. That's a Honda Accord 4-cylinder. Just went 852 at 154 miles an hour. 738 by Stufflebeam. No improvement on his 179 mile an hour run from earlier. So Brian will stay 9. Brian stays number 15. Robert Bailey's B dragster automatic. 450 plus cubic inch. Rear engine dragster. Judy out there making sure Robert gets backed up. The burnout tracks that he just put down. Robert, year number 8 qualifier. All Bills C Super Mod sits in the number 7 spot. Little Chevy Cobalt back in 2010. Started its life out. On a GM assembly line back in 2010. Right now, Bailey trying to improve on a 686. Goes 687. Doesn't improve, stays consistent. 817 by Chuck. He picks up 0.05 of a second. You know what Chuck just did? He made it another car. It's 67 under the index. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4 at 67 under. Chuck goes up to the number 4 spot. Robert's sitting number 8. And our next pair, doing their burnouts, pulling up. Brian Browse. This is a little V6 power dragster. We had the inline Chevy 6. We had the inline Ford 6. We've had the 4-cylinder Honda. Here's the V6 Chevrolet power plant. The engine built over the late, great Bill Jenkins' shop, now under the name of Black Arrow Performance. Boys, they're doing a wonderful job. Browse 67 under, sitting number 3. He goes 714. He could take the number 1 spot away. Greg Camplain, he could take that number 1 spot away too. 722, no help for Greg. 730, no help for Brian. So they'll both stay where they are. Brown the number 3 spot. Camplain's Mount Comfort RV machine. Goes 722 to $155, and he'll stay number 7. All right. Saw Jim Promozic Jr. roll up in his door car a bit ago. Here's Dad rolling in now in his C Dragster automatic. Dad had 1 shot at the racetrack. He had to work yesterday. The kid showed up, but Dad worked. Troy Galbraith, number 6 qualifier, 66 under the index, 679 for Troy. His 1 run earlier today. Troy was working over in Indiana yesterday. We'll see him again next weekend when we get to Indiana. For the next stop on the Division III Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series Tour. Troy wants to be number 1. He needs 0.05 of a second. Needs a 674 or better. Jump up to that number 1 spot. Troy, front end up, sets it right back down. Do you want to be number 1? Does he? 695. Nope, at 148 miles an hour. That's the answer. 746, 158 by Promozic. And that'll wrap up our comp qualifying. 16 cars. Going to answer the bell for round number 1.